Hey, what's up, fellas? October 1st. It's a little after 3 o'clock. This is on my list of things to do. And the title of this video, I did write some stuff down. Now, if I look down, I'm looking down not to ignore you, but I'm looking down to make sure I make here, I'm going to whip a big word out on you, a cogent point. Anyways, I'm doing this so that it makes sense, okay? Here's the title: Why You as a Man Owe No One Anything. And I'm going to try just to get through my Substack before I get into wandering around in my conversation. First of all, why you owe nobody anything at all. At all. Your life as a young man, and I mean if you're 50 or below, you don't owe anybody anything. Your life has been extremely more difficult than my life is. Social media, cell phones, email, photographs. People will dig into your life and try to destroy you. I never, ever had to deal with any of that. And I really don't know how you guys are able to navigate that. And because they can just use so many different things to try to tear you apart. It boggles my mind, the things that the people from 18 to 50 have to deal with on a daily basis that I didn't have to deal with when I was younger. I mean, it's extraordinary at the lack of privacy, the lack of personal freedoms, the lack of free speech. It just boggles my mind. And here's the second thing. You guys, along with me, men are considered disposable. Next man up. And part of that delusion is the online dating market. There are so many women out there that mistake attention for attention, meaning, well, I'll just be blunt. There's so many women out there that are delusional because guys just want to hump them, have sex with them. And they think that that type of attention is a relationship, or that they got all that in a bag of chips. No. There are many different classes of men. And again, not only do you have to deal with all the social media, the cell phones, the email, old photographs. God forbid you tell the truth about anything. Do you know what I mean? That's the stove. Don't even worry about it. Here's the other thing. I'll admit it. I get my feelings hurt. I'll admit it. I'm really not a good man. I'm trying to be a good man, but I know I'm not a good man. I've had to do too many terrible things to people. People I know, people I don't know, to survive. And that is what it is. But I think one of the cruelest things they do to us as men is we're supposed to be emotionless, autonomous robots in a way. If you cry or you open yourself up to a woman, God bless you. You know, if I've ever thought of doing something terrible to myself or anything else, and a woman finds out about it at a critical point in time, just to stuff a knife in your chest or your back, they'll bring it up. Go ahead, kill yourself. I'm just telling you, it is. Our lives, especially your lives, are cruel and merciless. And if you show any type of emotion, that's a sign of weakness. And it is probably, and personally in my opinion, it's one of the cruelest things that happen to men. Because you're expected to be better than a woman. You're expected to take it because you're not as valuable as she is. And I think that's absolute, utter fucking nonsense. I'm going to turn the page back over. And again, you as a man owe no one anything. We are considered disposable by society. Look over between Russia and the Ukraine. How many female battalions are in there fighting on the front lines? There's fucking none for either side. There's one or two of these psychopathic women that are out there doing their thing, but it's not a battalion of them. How do I say this without sounding like a fucking psychopath? I just want you to know that you matter. And you matter because you have to fight. You matter because you are required to make yourself valuable, regardless of the circumstances you find yourself in. And God forbid you're not born into a well-off family and you have to fight your way just to the starting line. I look at it like a long race. There's a starting line, an arbitrary starting line. And there are so many of us that start off like 200 yards in back of the starting line. And those of us are the men that grew up poor. And yes, they used to call me a PWT, poor white trash. Anyways, I'm not going to, this isn't about me. And then sometimes if you just fight your way out of the gutter to the starting line, it seems like you win, but it's just another starting point for you. And there's people that start out at the starting point who see the people that start out at, like, those they have to take is one step across the finish line, and they go, woohoo, I won, I'm a trust fund baby, yay! And the rest of us are like, fuck, that sucks. Again, we have to deal with so many things that other people don't have to deal with. We're not considered valuable. We are considered disposable. And I don't want you to buy into any of that stuff. Again, your life as a young man is way more difficult than mine was. I didn't have any of the social media stuff to be with it. And back when I was younger, if you got into some serious trouble and could get away, you could move to a different state and just, boom, restart your life, and you're a new person. And you can learn from those mistakes. Now, younger men have to live with the mistakes they make when they're able to have a cell phone to the time they die. And those things can haunt them forever. And there doesn't seem to be any mercy for a man. They love destroying a man's career. So, I'll go back. I have to turn the page. I have to go back. And again, this is why I personally feel that you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything because they tell you, you don't matter. I can replace you. Men are trash. All this other stupid shit. But here's a caveat to all of that. All of you ladies out there, why don't you try growing your own food? The makeup that you use, it's made out of dogs and cats. And if you don't realize that, you're insane. The food you eat, the food everybody eats is because of good average men. The roads, the infrastructure, the power grid, the water, the truck drivers, the train operators, the soldiers, the law enforcement officers, the firefighters, all the tradesmen, the plumbers, the electricians, the welders, the carpenters, the roofers, the concrete guys, all of those people, we're considered somehow or the other, we're just trash. And we're disposable, and we don't matter. So, hey, why, if someone's going to treat us like that, should we give a shit about anyone else other than ourselves. All right? I believe you're worth it. Whether anybody else will ever tell you this, you are my and our future. And if we don't stop treating you better, if we do not start treating you better, I don't blame you for walking away. I don't blame you for checking out. I don't blame you for saying, fuck it, it's not worth it. People are already doing that with their relationships. I hope you give yourself a break. I believe that you matter. You do matter. You are worthwhile. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes. Are you going to fuck things up? Absolutely you're going to fuck things up. The only difference is, do you learn from it or don't you learn from it? That's it. There are there are men out there who are going to help you, try to help you without taking anything from you. All right? Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. If you can't, you owe it to yourself to take care of yourself. Stay on your 3 plans. Make lists that go hand in hand. Short-term, mid-term, long-term plans. Eat good food. Do the best that you can. And if the world's going to burn, let the fucking world burn. They don't give a shit about us. Why should we give a shit about them? Okay? Like a fart in a G-string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.